The Acolyte, episodes 1 and 2. Disney Star Wars has another show, and we are going to be covering it here. This is one that I have had lots of worries about. Not really worried. I already know how I think it's going to go. But right now, these first 2 episodes were definitely better than I thought they would be. That is something I can say. They were definitely better than I thought they would be. Unfortunately, going into the later episodes here, I've already heard of some early reviewers who have seen a few of the later episodes, the next episode and the 4th one. It does sound like it might go off the rails a little bit, but as for right now, these first 2 episodes were okay. They were okay. So, going into this show, there is a lot of worry about what they're going to do to Star Wars, basically. And now it's set 100 years before The Phantom Menace. What is Disney gonna do here? What is Leslie Headland gonna give us? And you gotta ignore all the press of this show and all the stuff about this show outside of the actual show right now. It's a wreck. It is a train wreck, and it is not good for this show. I don't think this show is being looked at too positively right now, and I am definitely on the side of I expect a disaster. But it is set 100 years before The Phantom Menace, and now we are going into shouldn't the Sith and the Acolyte and whatever this is now called, the Acolyte, shouldn't the Sith be hiding until The Phantom Menace, until we see Darth Maul and they realize the Sith are around again? But that's a debate for, I guess, after the show, when it ends, and we'll see where the story lands. So they did set it right at the beginning. They did a little blue wording screen on the front. Set 100 years before the rise of the Empire. It's basically around 100 years until, the prequels and all that stuff happened with Anakin. So we cut to May, one of the 2 twins that is going to be in this show, played by Mandla Stenberg, I think that's her name. Played by her. She's playing twin characters in this show. It's not a secret. It's been if it's supposed to be a secret, it's a very poor kept secret. But they started out with this fight scene that we've seen in a lot of the teasers now. So she goes in to fight this Jedi in this bar. She fights the Jedi. We've seen the whole scene. It's been literally out there for weeks now. We see the scene, but what we didn't see is that she does kill the Jedi. So she kills this Jedi, and we already knew that she was killing Jedi, so some people assumed it would happen because that's the whole premise, is that this person is going around killing Jedi, and she has the Force, and it's like, well, what the hell's going on? So we send the Jedi of the High Republic, which I knew nothing about the High Republic. I know they're trying to do stories in that. I know nothing about it at all, about what's going on with the Jedi. I know it's a Disney thing. I know they're trying to do the High Republic. I know nothing about it, so this is my first experience with their High Republic, and 2 Jedi come to investigate because there is another person out there who looks just like the one who's killing Jedi. So they go to investigate, and they confront Osha, the other twin here, and that is the good side version here of the twins. She's a former Jedi who's now just working on a ship because she left the Order, and in this scene, we immediately learn a little bit about her family. And that is something that I think might get touched upon later in this show, which we'll just save it for this week. I think I'm going to have a lot of being upset to go forward with this show. I think I'm going to be quite irritated with the show. But they did mention that her whole family died, which we now obviously know that her twin sister is out there. And that her mothers died. Yes, I said that right. Mothers died. So, there's 2 mothers for these twins. So, take that for what it is. Didn't really affect the episodes much at all. It's like, oh, that's interesting. I can't say much because I don't know what actually happens next. I haven't seen it, though I have heard some rumblings that the next episode or 2 might dive into that a little more, and it might be a literal freaking train wreck of Disney modern day bullshit. Hope it doesn't happen, but I got a feeling it is going to happen. And if it does, if it's just as bad as I hear it might be, then, well, I guess it'll be fun to express my feelings about that next week. But Disney will Disney. Leslie Headland will do her thing, which I expect her to do. So they take her captive because they think that she's killing the Jedi. So they bring her in, and then we get to meet some other new Jedi characters here that we've seen in the trailers. So we got the bald-headed, green-painted lady here, weird makeup. And then we got the main Jedi character of the show, which I think is the only character that I find okay, is the Jedi of Soul. He is like the main Jedi character of this show, outside of Osha. He is the main Jedi here in the Republic, and he is going to investigate this situation with the Jedi getting killed, because Osha is his previous Padawan before she left the Order. So that's why he is going out to try and investigate this. So Osha's on the prison ship. She does escape after some prisoners make their escape, and she crashes into a random icy, snowy planet. So that's where she ends up. She gets little visions before the Jedi come to find her about her twin, and we get a little scene here of her seeing some, it's almost like a interaction between her and her twin. I don't know how that's going on yet. Something between the Force or something. We got a thing between them and the Force, a younger version of them, and it's kind of planting the seeds to maybe who this character is and what the connection is between her and her twin sister, who she thought was dead. So we do get some more scenes with, Soul and the other Jedi, and they start to learn that Osha does have a twin, and they eventually do piece it together that it is her twin that's doing that, because May continues to go out there and do, kill Jedi and hunt down Jedi. Meanwhile, Osha is now with the Jedi. So they're doing that. They find Osha. She, tells them that I'm not the one killing the Jedi. She falls off the cliff. Soul saves her with the Force, and they take her in to the next episode. So this episode ends on a really silly, funny moment, I will say. It is May on a random island going to meet her master. So is this the master and the Acolyte? Is this what we're going to get? We got the super bad guy there up on the cliff, just staring into nothingness, just chilling, I guess. He's just doing his thing, minding his own business. I don't know what the hell he's doing there. He's just standing there. And he ignites his red blade to show his evilness, as they do. So I guess that's the guy we see in the trailers with the red blade and the weird mask with the big smile. I don't know who this character is. They play it up like it's going to be someone super important, and it's going to be like, we don't know who this really is. Even May doesn't know who her master is. So again, we're going to have to see where this goes. I don't know what they're going to do with it, because again, the Jedi, there's not supposed to be any Sith until the Phantom Menace. So where does this go? Are they just fucking with the timeline? Do they not care anymore? Are they just going to do this story and then just say, oh, we're just going to ignore that this happened a little later, though? What are we going to do? But we're going to have to wait for this show to play through, and we'll see where that goes. So the next episode starts. We got this Jedi in this temple, and it's like a random Jedi temple. It's not the big main one. It's a temple on a different planet. This guy's just chilling in there, Jedi. He's like levitating, and he is just minding his own business, man. He's been levitating, meditating now for like 10 years, I guess. He looks like he's 20 years old and also like 50. May goes into the room, tries to kill him. He's like force bubbled, so she can't get to him. She can't attack him and kill him. He is like super powerful, and he's just levitating there. He talks to nobody, and that's just what he does in his time. So she can't kill him, so she leaves before the Jedi in the room enter. The only white guy in the show enters the room before he can find her, and she needs to go find a different way to kill this Jedi. So as I said, Soul and this other lady, I don't know what the hell her name is yet, they figure out that it is two twins because Osha is with the Jedi right now, and May is still out there doing different things, and she is breaking into the temple. So May goes and gets some poison from one of her buddies on the planet that she goes to. I don't know. She gets some poison from her friend to go kill the Jedi. So she gets the poison. The Jedi do investigate and find out that the temple was broken into. As they go and confront this Jedi, I don't even know his name yet. Honestly, I don't know if it matters. So they go to talk to this Jedi because they need to know what's going on. But May is already back there during the day, and she's there to kill him. So she talks to him, and he comes down from his levitation to talk to her. And for some weird freaking reason, He takes the poison and he drinks it. He just kills himself. I don't know why the hell he did that. I don't know if he just didn't want to fight her or what. Don't know if there was any history there with the character. It seems like there is. There's a link between these Jedi she's killing and what happened in her past with, like the fire and whatnot on her own planet. So we'll get into that probably later. But I would say she kills the Jedi, but the dude just kills himself. He just takes the poison. She set it down on the ground and just like gave him a choice or something. And he just drank it and died. So he's dead. And they find out that he took the poison, or he was poisoned somehow. I don't know if they know he took it. But May left the poison bottle there. So when Osha and all the other Jedi get there, they immediately can figure out where this type of plant is or whatever it was that made this poison. And she says it's something made from my own home planet. So they go back there and they figure out who the only one who could have given the poison to her is this one guy, and that's her friend. So they investigate her friend. They enter the bar or the building here with a hood over her head. Osha goes in pretending to be May, and they try to get this guy to confess that he gave the poison to May. They do get a confession, and they wait out now that they think May is going to return to this guy at some point. So they kind of stake out. They watch the guy. She comes in and does confront Sol. So Sol and her do have a little bit of a fight. He kind of shows himself to be a pretty good Jedi Master. They confront May. A few of the other Jedi here confront May. They almost get her, and then she kind of dusts out and blows the dust all over and gets away. She does end up seeing Osha for a moment, so Osha and May do confront each other for a quick moment. It's kind of funny how they just both look the same, though. You think these two twins who have been separated for like 8 years or something, I think it was. It's funny how they look exactly the same. They didn't change their actual facial appearance in any way at all. They didn't have like a different hairstyle or anything. They look exactly the same. It's interesting how that works out. You would think something would be different, that someone would do something different, but hey, that's what they're going with. They do confront each other for a moment, but May does get away and Osha misses the stun. So May does end up returning to her friend, and they find out that they know where the Wookiee Jedi is, and that's kind of the tease for the end of the episode, is they're going to go find the Wookiee Jedi. So the Wookiee Jedi is on the list of the Jedi to kill. And on the list of the Jedi to kill is the Wookiee Jedi and then Sol. So those are the two remaining Jedi that May needs to kill for her master, who just stands on an island. So the last scene is a shot of the Wookiee Jedi on his planet that he's, hiding out on or whatnot. I don't know I guess he's not hiding out on. He's just living there. The Jedi are not in hiding right now. So he's just there. He attacks like a few guys that are wandering around with the Force, and he enters his little hut. That's how the episode ends. Look, there's really not much for me to say, because I actually expected it to be worse, and I thought it was fine. I think the acting and the dialogue and just the way it was put together seemed a lot better than like a lot of these other shows have been, making. In comparison to something like Ahsoka or Mandalorian, specifically Mandalorian season 3, definitely Obi-Wan Kenobi. Like, those are just everything was wrong with those shows. I would compare this close to Andor, just in terms of like the way the characters interact with each other and it's presented. It feels a little more natural with the way they talk to each other and whatnot. That's kind of all I can really say. So I will give it that. It's definitely done better in that aspect. These episodes, they're fine. I just have a suspicion that it's going to get a lot worse. If you look at the press and you see some of the interviews and just the stuff they're saying about this show, I just cannot get excited. And it just is what it is. Disney Star Wars, I kind of lost hope in it, man. There's nothing there for me. Ahsoka was kind of the last little bit of something I tried, because it was Dave Filoni. Dave Filoni definitely is not got any magic left in him, if he even did. So that was kind of my last hope, and now I'm just kind of here for the ride. I think it'll be fun to cover for all the wrong reasons. That's kind of why I'm covering it. I do want to give my takes on it, because I think this is going to get a lot crazier in probably all the wrong ways, and I'm definitely curious where the show will go. But I don't know if it's going to be good. I really, really doubt it. But I will say, they definitely had a good first 2 episodes. It's got all the Star Wars stuff in it, and that's really it. It doesn't feel like Star Wars. It just feels like a show that has Star Wars things in it. You know, you got ships, you got Jedi, you got lightsabers and stuff. You got the Force, you got the Jedi Temple. It's like it's got all these different Star Wars things, but it's not Star Wars, man. It's just not. It's not George's Star Wars. Never will be. All this Disney stuff won't be. You already know. You can see how I feel about it. Obviously, I'm not going into this show like anticipating good. If it is good, if it does continue to be good, I will tell you, and I've already said it. Like, I think these 2 episodes were definitely better than I thought. They definitely were. I actually think the characters of Osha and May are fine so far. Like, there's nothing really overly like annoying or stupid about the character as of yet. But if what I've heard going into the future episodes here is true, that might change. I don't know. Right now, though, it is an okay start to a show that I thought would have started off just rough from everything I've seen. That's about as much as I can praise for this show so far. But The Acolyte, episodes 1 and 2, it's okay. I am prepared for the worst, and I think the worst will happen. But if it doesn't, I will definitely let you know. I definitely will. I have no faith in Disney Star Wars. I have no faith in Leslie Headland for sure. I definitely have no faith in Kathleen Kennedy. Just go Google what they've been saying in the press, before this show came out. It doesn't give you much hope. Just going after fans even before the show comes out. Not a good look. So it just gives you that bad taste in your mouth before the show even came out. That's why I just I'm definitely going into this show very differently than I have with any of the other Star Wars shows. I'm at this point now where it's like, what are they going to do? What are they going to do? It was an okay start, but we'll see, man. We'll see.